Hello and a very warm welcome. I am Gushin Galan and you're watching Firstpost. In the next few minutes, I get you the top 40 updates from around the world, only here on Fast and Factual. Let's get started. First in, from the war in Europe, Russia and United States have agreed to form teams to hold negotiations to end the Ukraine war. This came after high-level talks between two countries in Saudi Arabia yesterday. Both the countries would also establish a consultation mechanism to improve relationships between US and Russia. Following the talks between US and Russia, US President Donald Trump appeared to be blaming Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky for the Ukraine-Russia war. Responding to the Ukrainian leader's concerns over being excluded from Saudi Arabia talks, Trump said, "I am very disappointed." He added they've sent a seat for 3 years. US President Donald Trump has ordered to fire all remaining US attorneys nominated by his predecessor Joe Biden. The order was for the remaining attorneys who did not quit after Trump's victory. Meanwhile, he also signed 3 executive orders on access to vitro fertilization and imposing radical transparency requirements on government departments. A US judge has declined to temporarily block billionaire Elon Musk and his Department of Government Efficiency from firing federal employees and accessing agency data. 14 Democratic-ruled states have filed suit against the Doge, but the emergency request was denied. Musk aims to cut hundreds of billions of dollars in government spending. Australian billionaire Clive Palmer on Wednesday launched a political party which is directly inspired by US President Donald Trump. This comes just a few months before a nationwide federal election. Palmer said his Trumpet on Patriots party would quote-unquote make Australia great again. Moving to the war in West Asia, Israel and Hamas have agreed for the return of bodies of 4 captives tomorrow and release of 6 Israeli hostages on Saturday. In exchange, Israel will free all women prisoners and those under the age of 19. The exchange is part of the first phase of fragile ceasefire, under which total 33 Israeli hostages were due for release. And in return, Israel promised to free about 1,900 Palestinian prisoners. 2 British nationals were detained in Iran over charges of espionage. According to Iranian media, the married couple allegedly gathered information from various locations of the country. Iranian officials claim that the couple had tied intelligence services and an investigation is underway into their alleged connections. US authorities have released a medical report concluding that former OpenAI researcher turned whistleblower Suchir Balaji died by suicide. Officials claim there is no evidence of foul play. However, Balaji's parents have expressed strong disagreement, suggesting the son was murdered. Balaji, who worked at OpenAI from 2020 to 2024, accused the company of breaking copyright laws. The Philippine Coast Guard accused the Chinese Navy helicopter of dangerous flight maneuvers in the South China Sea. The Chinese helicopter flew as close as 3 meters to the Filipino aircraft over the Scarborough Shoal. The Philippines said it was a clear violation and blatant disregard for aviation rules. Former Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro has been charged by country's chief prosecutor for attempting a coup after he was defeated in the 2022 presidential election. Former president is facing 5 charges over the alleged bid to stop his successor, President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, from taking office. In climate news, in a major policy shift, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency has granted West Virginia the authority to regulate and permit carbon capture projects. This makes it the 4th state to receive such jurisdiction. The decision is expected to accelerate the development of underground carbon sequestration technology, which aims to capture emissions from industrial sources before they reach the atmosphere. The U.S. state of Kentucky, already reeling from catastrophic flooding, is now preparing for another blow. An intense winter storm is expected to dump more than half a foot of snow across the state. State governor called the situation a snowstorm in the middle of a natural disaster. He urged residents to take extra precautions. Emergency responders are working to manage both the aftermath of severe flooding and the impending snowstorm. Rio de Janeiro is grappling with a blistering heat wave, with temperatures soaring to a record-breaking 44 degrees Celsius. The extreme heat has made daily life unbearable for many residents. Locals are finding creative ways to cool down, with parks and water features becoming a refuge from the oppressive conditions. Residents say it's so hot that you can't stay indoors. A large-scale stranding has left more than 150 false killer whales breached on remote shoreline in Australia's Tasmania. Of those stranded, 136 were found alive. Experts warn that responding to such incidents in remote areas presents significant challenges, including unpredictable weather conditions and limited access to rescue equipment. The world's largest conservation conference is set to resume in Rome next week. Negotiators will attempt to resolve a funding standoff that previously derailed talks. The meeting will focus on how financial resources for nature protection should be managed. It is a key hurdle in global effort to halt biodiversity loss by 2030. The last attempt at COP16 in Colombia collapsed due to divided between wealthy and developing nations over funding commitments. On to business and tech news now. US President Donald Trump says that his administration will impose around 25% tariffs, auto tariffs. The new levies would be out as soon as April 2. He also hints at establishment of new car plants in the United States. New Zealand's central bank cuts interest rate by 50 basis points to 3.75%. The bank says it expects further reductions. This as the country's policymakers struggle to revive its economy amidst recession. Johnson & Johnson is facing a critical test as a Houston judge begins hearing a trial over claims of its baby powder causing cancer. The company has proposed $10 billion and a subsidiary's bankruptcy to resolve lawsuits filed by more than 62,000 plaintiffs. Chevron announces plan to cut 20% of its global workforce. The decision will impact one-fifth of the company's employees, affecting around 8,000 people. This as the company says it has fallen behind its competitors. The remarks were made during an internal meeting. Ford Motors reportedly stocking manager-level bonuses this year. Around 1,650 middle managers in Ford out of 3,300 globally are unlikely to receive bonuses next month. The move is seen as a bid to cut costs and improve employee performance. Japan's exports increased for a fourth consecutive month in January. This rise is led by auto shipments to the United States. The exports surged 7.2% year in January. However, it is less than a median market forecast of 7.9% increase. Former OpenAI Chief Technology Officer Meera Murthy launches her own AI startup called Thinking Machines Lab. This has a team of about 30 leading researchers and engineers taken from competitors including OpenAI, Meta, and Mistral. She seeks to build artificial intelligence systems that encode human values. India-based Zomato introduces AI-powered customer support program platform called Nugget. It is designed to handle 80% of customer queries. Zomato CEO says Nugget helps businesses scale support effortlessly and is highly customizable. Chinese search engine Baidu reports a 2% drop in its quarterly revenue. The company's revenue stands at $4.69 billion for the fourth quarter. The plunge comes in the backdrop of slowdown in the advertising business amidst property market slump. Shares of India-based Hexaware Technologies rise by 5% in the market debut. The company opened its initial public offering at $1 billion. It saw a rush led by institutional buyers as retail investors held back. Moving to sports, we start with cricket. The 2025 edition of ICC Champions Trophy is all set to begin today. The premier 8-team tournament is being hosted by Pakistan and the UAE. Pakistan is playing the opening game of the tournament against New Zealand in Karachi. India will play their first match of the tournament against Bangladesh tomorrow. Zimbabwe beat Ireland by 9 wickets in the third and final one-day international of this series. Batting first, host Ireland scored 240 runs for the loss of 6 wickets. The visitors chased down the total with more than 10 overs remaining. With this, Zimbabwe sealed the ODI series 2-1. Zimbabwean all-rounder Brian Bennett was named the player of the series. The United States defended the lowest ever total in men's ODI history. The record was made during the clash against Oman. After scoring just 123 runs in the first innings, the US successfully defended their total and defeated Oman by 57 runs. The previous record for defending the lowest ODI total was held by India since 1985. In football, Bayern Munich played a 1-1 draw against Celtic in the Champions League. After a goalless first half, Celtic's Nicolas Gerrit-Kuhn struck an opener in the 63rd minute. As Celtic closed on to win the match, Bayern Munich's Alphonso Davies managed to score an equaliser in the extra time. Club Brugge beat Atalanta 3-1 in Champions League. Chemsdale Talbi scored a brace to give Bruges a 2-0 lead. Bruges' lead extended to 3-0 as Ferenc Jutgia also hit the back of the net just before the end of first half. Atlanta's Admola Lukman took the scoreline 3-1 in the 46th minute. An 87th minute goal was denied to Atlanta due to red card verdict. According to reports, Manchester United, Bournemouth, West Ham United and Everton are in advanced talks to participate in the Premier League summer series event in the United States. The tournament is scheduled to begin in July 2025. In tennis, world's number 6 Daniil Medvedev progressed in Qatar Open. The Russian beat his opponent Karen Khachanov 4-6, 7-5, 6-3 in round of 32 clash. Medvedev is set to face Zizos Bergs of Belgium later today in a round of 16 match. In men's hockey, India lost 1-4 to Germany in Pro League. German goal scorer included Florian Sperling, who struck early in the 7th minute. These Springs also scored swiftly in the 14th minute. Michael Struthoffs extended Germany's lead in the 48th minute, followed by clincher in the 55th minute. India's effort was highlighted by Gurjant Singh's equaliser in the 13th minute, yet they failed to capitalise on subsequent opportunities. Formula One has revealed plans to increase the number of mandatory pit stops at the Monaco Grand Prix. This is being done in a bid for better racing experience for both participants and fans. A lack of overtaking at Monaco Grand Prix has led to largely processional racing in recent years, which has drawn criticism from fans worldwide. Seven-time world champion Lewis Hamilton appeared in Ferrari Red for the first time outside of Italy. This came as Formula One put an unprecedented 10-team season launch in front of thousands of fans in London yesterday. And finally, to the world of showbiz, a Los Angeles jury has found A$AP Rocky not guilty on all counts in his felony assault trial. This brought an end to a 3-week legal battle. The rapper was accused of firing a gun at A$AP Relly during a confrontation outside the W Hotel in Hollywood in November 2021. Prosecutors allege that Rocky aimed at Relly's head and stomach with one bullet grazing Efren's hand. Lady Gaga has officially revealed the tracklist for her upcoming 7th studio album, Mayhem. It is set for release on March 7th. The album features severely highly anticipated singles including Disease, Abracadabra and Die With A Smile. Gaga teased the tracklist in a video featuring instrumental snippets and flashing song titles. Mayhem marks her first full-length album in nearly 4 years. Blackpink's Lisa is making 2025 her breakout solo year. She is now venturing into the comic book industry. Lisa has launched Alter Ego, the official comic, a 56-page project accompanying her album. The comic explores the themes of alter ego through 5 characters, each representing a different aspect of Lisa's personality. The story is described as an exploration of transformation, courage, and unity. Hulu has officially given the green light to Not Suitable for Work. It is a new comedy series from Mindy Kaling. The show follows 5 ambitious 25-somethings navigating their careers and personal lives in Manhattan's elite Murray Hill. Kaling will serve as creator and executive producer under her Kaling International banner. And finally, the highly anticipated Season 3 premiere of HBO's The White Lotus attracted 2.4 million viewers on premiere day. The debut's ratings were 57% higher than Season 2's premiere in 2022 and 155% above the show's 2021 series debut. HBO also reported that Season 2 averaged 15.5 million viewers per episode, while Season 1 averaged 9.3 million. The show is a satirical take on luxury tourism and social class. That's all for today. Thank you for joining us. I am Gushin Galan and we'll see you right back here tomorrow. Stay informed and stay tuned to Firstpost.